Hey guys, what's up? It's Adam from GeekRest.com. This is my pick of the week video. I make a video every week and give you my one book, that would be two books, one book that I recommend the most. Not to say that the other new releases are not worthy of your attention. This week had some stellar books, actually. Avenging Spider-Man, Daredevil, Avengers vs. X-Men #6, which I'll throw this out there right now. That was the best issue of the event so far. Best issue. But those are my recommendations. I toiled. We're not talking superheroes. We're talking Martians. This is it. IDW Mars Attack #1. Wow. Okay, this was... You can't talk about Mars Attacks without going back to the roots. Mars Attacks is a huge touchstone property for me. I think it is for a lot of people. Just oozes nostalgia. Came out in 1962, published by Topps, originally as a trading card series. It was 55 cards, and it was controversial at the time. It was gory. It had, dude, I'm not lying here when I say that these are the cards. I collected these cards. These are the reprints. My dad, I love my dad. He's got the originals upstate, but we collected these together, and they were like just gory. They were just my first introduction to just real pulp science fiction gore. And Topps did something in the 80s again with the license, not so much, but they released more cards in the early 90s, and a miniseries which Charlie Adler from The Walking Dead actually illustrated, which I always thought was kind of cool. And then of course Burton did his fucking movie in 96. God, I still hate that movie. Anyways, so this is the new book, and it's written by John Layman, who you may know from Chew. And he's a great writer, very funny. He's got like an odd sense of humor, but it's smart, and it's illustrated by John McCrea, who you may know from Garth Ennis works. He did Garth Ennis's Hitmen, and these guys came together to do Mars Attacks, which never really had I mean, it's a big story, but it was never just one story. The trading cards, they just were separate scenes, depictions of like horrific events from all walks of life around the world. Dealing with a Martian invasion. And the comic books do the same thing. Layman said that there's going to be 4 issues. The first 4 issues are going to kind of set things up with different stories, and then they're going to start to, blend together for the finale. This is not going to be an ongoing series, I don't think. So, this is awesome, and it's not campy. I mean, let's throw this out there right now. The thing with Mars Attacks cards, they were so ridiculous that they were funny and campy, even through the gore. And Tim Burton tapped into that, and Topps, later with the comics in the early 90s, like they saw the humor in it. They played off of it because it's ridiculous. The aliens are ridiculous. They got the classic sci-fi costumes from like the 60s, and it's just a classic formula that they kept for this book, but they modernized it a little bit. The aliens look exactly the same, with just a little bit more gloss to their armor, and you don't know anything about what the aliens are saying in this book when you see them. And the story itself is pretty funny. It's you're in the 50s in America, and I'm not going to spoil the whole thing here, but a flying saucer, they're like the dummy reconnaissance team, just doing a cruise by of Earth. They tap into a Mercury capsule from our space program, and they crash. And it's of course they're found by these rednecks who take this one alien into town. They sell him to a circus. Take it from there. The fact is, you don't understand any of the dialogue that the aliens say. And, it's kind of fun because you can still feel for this one alien who's been sold to the circus, which is probably one of the most important things about, Layman's writing, is that you actually feel for this character. And in the first couple pages, they flash forward to the present time, and the Martians are already invading Earth, destruction everywhere, and then they flash back 50 years to this one incident, and you feel for this alien in captivity, and you're like, this guy's evil. He's going to, just come back to our planet and do these horrific acts that you see in the cards and everything, and you feel for him, and it's cool. And he doesn't even say a word. And the rednecks that capture him, you barely understand the things that they say. So, it's great writing. It's got that camp humor without being campy. It's fun, it's smart, and it's modern. So, you know, it's a great read. And the art by John McCrea, wow. It's a perfect, it doesn't look like the work that I've seen him do with Ennis and Legends of the Dark Knight. I know him from there. But it is good, and it's dark, and it just complements you know, Layman's words. He does a great fucking job. Great job. I'm swearing now. That's how passionate I am. But one of the coolest things about this book is the #1 issue. They released technically 58 variant covers. What they did is I held it up. This is the original trading card that they print, and it's a beautiful print. It's the pages. The wrap cover is matte black, and it's a gloss copy of the original trading card art. And what they did is for every #1 issue, this is card #2, this is card #1. They did it for all 55 cards, and then there are 3 additional ones. There's a retailer incentive cover. There's one they're putting out for San Diego Comic-Con, and then if you want the whole set of books, IDW says that you can talk to your retailer, say that you want the complete set, which will be 58 issues, and it will feature, all the artwork from all the cards, plus this, exclusive cover, the San Diego cover, and the retailer incentive cover. So it's a pretty cool deal for the art, and like I said, it's the art which and this weird grotesque humor that just carries these cards and makes it so nostalgic. Wallace Wood and Bob Powell were the guys who originally illustrated these things, and Wallace Wood was a big EC artist, EC Comics, Weird Science, Tales from the Crypt, real pulpy stuff, and I love that work. So, Mars Attacks, it's back. I'm glad. Ton of other great books out this week. Don't think that this is the only one you should check out. But if we want my personal opinion here, Mars Attacks. If you're a fan of the series already, go back for some good campy fun. If you're not, check it out. Mars invading Earth with that little bit of grotesque humor. Hopefully we'll see some of that. But yeah, that's it. My recommendation for the week. Thanks for tuning into geekrest.com. As always, follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and we got a couple contests coming up, so start sharing these videos because those will count as your entries. I'll announce it later, but share the video right now because I request it kindly. See you next week.